Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Monica. I'm an M.Com postgraduate and I will teach you accountancy with the help of my YouTube channel. In today's video, we will learn about the qualitative characteristics of accounting and the important terms of accountancy. So, don't forget to subscribe my channel so that once I will upload my new video, you will get the notification quickly. Also, kindly share the video link with all the accountancy learners. Stay tuned. Here we go. In this slide, we will learn about the qualitative characteristics of accounting informations. What should be the quality when we are making the records? On which basis the decisions makers make their decisions. So, the qualitative characteristics includes relevance, reliability, understandability and comparability. So, relevance means all the information should be there which are relevant and which are very important for the business, for the financial transactions, everything, every single thing which is very important on which basis the decision makers need to take the decisions, and all the information should be available on time as and when required. Reliability means the information which we are putting in our record should be reliable. Anyone can easily trust on those information. Nothing should be wrong. Incorrect data should be avoided. For this reliability, what the accountant should do, accountant should get it checked by both the parties or the counterpart so that the information should be reliable. Third one is understandability. Understandability means the records which we are making, the rules and the formulas which we are using for the accounting information should be understandable by the third party or by any party which are using those information for the decision making purpose, like for the investor's point of view, for our director point of view, or for any other party which needs to take the necessary information. So the data which we use should be in that way so everyone can understand that. Comparability means the formula and the source on which basis the accounting informations are creating should be comparable with the previous data and previous to previous data. It means it doesn't mean that if you are making the records and if you are entering any accounting information in last accounting year, you have taken some different data or some different source, and in this accounting period you are taking some different data. So if we do this type of entries and if we take different source, then it will be very difficult to compare this. So comparability is very important. This will help for the audit purpose also and for decision makers also. So here is the flow chart of the qualitative characteristics of accounting information we have just discussed. You can go through once. Decision makers. Why we do that? Understandability should be there, and decision usefulness, relevance, reliability and comparability. Okay. Okay, so in this video we will learn about the important terms in accountancy. By the end of this video, we will complete the first chapter of 11th class accountancy book. So let's start. Entity. What is the meaning of an entity? Entity means a reality that has a definite individual existence. So if we are doing a business, entity is something in which individual's existence must be there, like owner would be there and the employees also can work. So that is the entity. And business entity means a specifically identifiable business enterprise, which can be identifiable means the business entity must be separate. If any business is running, any business entity is running, so business entity's existence would be different and the owner's existence would be different. An accounting system is always devised for a specific business entity, and for that specific business entity of which the existence would be different, business entity's existence would be different, and the accounting system would also be there where all the transaction would be recorded. Now the transaction. What do you mean by a transaction? We have already discussed about the economic event. An event involving some value between two or more entities. Here we are talking about the economic event where two or more entities are working and some value would also be there. Value here is which we can identify in terms of money. Monetary terms would be there. It can be a purchase of goods if we are purchasing something, receipt of money, receiving a money, payment to the creditor or receiving from a debtors, incurring expenses, etc. It can be a cash transaction or a credit transaction. Means anything, any economic event which are going on, which we can evaluate in terms of money and which is going on between two or more entities, that is called a transaction. Sales. Now what are sales? Sales are actually the total revenues from goods or services sold or provided to the customer. If there is a business going on where the goods and services are to be sold or selling to the customer, so the revenues which are coming in exchange of the goods and services are called the sales. Now again, the sales may be cash sales or the credit sales. Revenues. Now what is a revenue? These are the amounts of the business earned by selling its product or providing the services to the customer, called the sales revenue. Other items of revenue common to many businesses are commission, interest, dividend, royalties, rent received, etc. Revenue are also called the income. If we are running any business and we are selling the goods and the products, providing any services to the customers, and we are earning something, so that earning is called the sales revenue. Like if we are earning any interest, dividends, royalties, rent we are receiving, so that is called the revenues. Now expenses. Expense, cost incurred by a business in the process of earning revenue for goods and services if we are selling, and to make them finished to be used for selling purpose. If we are incurring any cost, so that cost is called the expenses. Generally, expenses are measured by the cost of assets consumed or services used during an accounting period. The usual item of expenses are depreciation, rent, wages, salaries, interest, hire of heat, and cost of heater, light and water, and telephone, etc. So in case you are running a business and to earn the revenue, if we are incurring any cost, if we are spending money, so that is called the expenses. Now expenditure, spending money or incurring a liability for some benefit, service or property received is called the expenditure. If we are spending money or incurring a liability, means if we are taking some loan type anything to run our business, to further benefit of the business which is ongoing now, any service or property received is called the expenditure. Purchase of goods, purchase of machinery, purchase of furniture are the example of expenditure, because if we are purchasing any goods, so initially we are spending money, but after that we will earn a profit. So for some benefits we have incurred the cost, so that is called the expenditure. In the same way, if we are purchasing any machinery, that is also we are installing in our business to earn future profit, future earnings. To increase our future earning, if we are spending something, so that is called the expenditure. Now the profit. The excess of revenues of a period over its related expenses during an accounting year is profit. Profit increases the investments of the owners. This we have already discussed in the second video I have uploaded. Profit increases the investment of the owners. So if here is the capital involved in the business and again we have under profit, so that profit will be the part of the capital and will be there on the liability side with the capital. Now what is the profit? The excess of revenues over a period of time, like if we have received more revenues by selling the goods and services than what we have spent over its related expenses, what we have spent. So if the revenues are over than the expenses we have incurred during an accounting year, that is called the profit. So excess of revenues are called the profit. Gain, a profit that arises from events or transactions which are incidental. It means which are not sure. These are incidental to the business, such as sale of fixed assets, winning a court case, appreciation in the value of an assets. So like if we have received a person who is ready to purchase our fixed assets on very high price, so that will be our instant gain. Winning a court case, appreciation in any value of assets, so that are called the gain. Now loss, excess of expenses of a period over its related revenue, it's termed as the loss. This is just opposite we have learned about the profit. In case of revenues are over then expenses, so that is called the profit. In case the excess of expenses of a period over its related revenues, that is termed as the loss. So in the same scenario, it decreases the owner's equity, so we will deduct it from the capital in the liability side. Now discount. Discount is a deduction in the price of the goods sold. If we are selling goods and we are giving any deduction in the price to promote our sales, so that is called the discount. Now it is offered in two ways: offering deduction of agreed percentage of the list price at the time of selling goods, like we get the discount like 10% off, 15% off, so that is called the trade discount. It is generally offered by the manufacturer to the wholesalers and by the wholesalers to the retailers after selling the goods on credit basis. If we are purchasing any goods on credit basis and the seller may be giving us certain deduction in the amount due in case if we pay the amount within the particular period, then they will deduct this price. So that is called the cash discount. So cash discount acts as an incentive that encourages prompt payment by the debtors. So if we have sold something, if I am a seller and I have sold something on credit, so in if that is the case of cash discount, what I'll do, I'll give an option that you will pay me early and I will give you a discount of, let's say, 10% of some particular amount. So that will be called a cash discount. So it promotes the early payment. Next is goods. It refers to the products in which the business unit is dealing, right? If any business unit is dealing in clothes, so only cloth will be the goods in terms of which it is buying and selling or producing and selling. The items that are purchased for use in the business are not called the goods. For example, for a furniture dealer, the purchase of chair and tables is termed as goods. Apart from chair and table or apart from furniture, if something is purchased, so that is not called the goods. Drawings. Withdrawal. Drawing means withdrawal. Withdrawal of money or goods by the owner from the business for personal use. So drawing related to withdrawing something for the personal use of the owner. So that is called the drawing. Drawing reduces the investment of the owners. So same like if the business is incurring the loss, so that will also be reduced from the capital, from the equity. In the same scenario, in the same way, the drawings will also be deducted from the capital, because that is using by the owner for its personal use. Now what is purchases? Purchases are the total amount of goods procured by a business on credit which has not been paid, that is called the credit, and on cash for use or sale. Anything which a business is procured by a business, any goods procured by the business on credit or on cash for its use or for its sale, doesn't matter. In a trading concern, the purchases are made for merchandise for resale with or without processing. In a manufacturing concern, the raw materials are also purchased, processed further, and finished goods and then sold. So purchases may be cash purchases or credit purchases. Stock. Stock is called the inventory, stock in hand. So goods we have already learned. Stock is stock is a measure of something on hand goods, in hand. You will read this term like stock in hand. So this is like on hand goods, spare parts and other items in the business. It is called the stock in hand. In a trading concern, the stock on hand is the amount of goods which are lying unsold, which has not been sold, which are lying with us unsold as at the end of accounting period. So that is called the stock in hand. Now the closing stock and the opening stock, these are the two different terms which we use on a regular basis and which are very important while learning the definition of stock. In a manufacturing company, the closing stock comprises the raw material or semi-finished goods or any finished goods on hand on the closing date. It means that at the end of the accounting period, if we have some stock available in any form, raw material, semi-finished or the finished goods, so that is called the closing stock. Similarly, the opening stock in the beginning inventory. That is the amount of stock at the beginning of accounting period. So the closing stock in this accounting period will become the opening stock in the next accounting period. So these are the important terms which we will use regularly while doing the accounting entries. Okay, so now the most important terms, debtors and creditors. The initial students of accountancy at initial stage can get confused between these both terms. So just understand the important point. Keep in mind, debtors are our assets and creditors are our liabilities. So assets are of course the benefit for the business and creditors are loss of the business. Just think about in this perspective and you will learn the definition very easily. Now debtors. Debtors are the persons and or other entities who owe to an enterprise an amount for buying goods or services on credit. If you have sold something on credit and they will have to pay you back, so those will be your debtors. The total amount standing against such person or the entities on the closing date is shown in the balance sheet as the sundry assets on the asset side. Now the creditors. Creditors are the person or the other entities. So creditors will be opposite from the debtors. Creditors are the person or other entities who have to be paid by an enterprise an amount for providing the enterprise goods and services on credit. Now, if you have purchased something on credit and you have not paid any amount, so those will be your creditors. You will have to pay them. So that will be your liability. In case of debtors, you have sold something and on credit, and the other person, your customer, will have to pay you back. So those are the debtors and the creditors. If you have purchased something on credit and you have not yet paid, you will have to pay them. So those will be your creditors, and creditors will be your liability and debtors will be your assets. So the total amount standing at the favor of such person or the entities on the closing date is shown in the balance sheet as the sundry creditors on the liability side. Okay, so all the important terms are finished over here. Let's meet you in my next video. By the time, stay tuned and wait for my next video.